Good day everyone. Today we will be discussing about product life cycle, maturity and decline stage.
What is the maturity stage of the product life cycle? The maturity stage of the product life cycle is when business growth levels out because the product has saturated its market. Ironically, this is where the money is made, but it's also where the product and business is at the most risk of disruption from below. The goal is to reach a maturity stage as quickly as possible to spend less time and money on scaling to a sustainable size or reaching profitability. Once there, the goal is to extend the maturity stage as possible so you don't end up entering into decline prematurely. For example, a competitor comes and disrupts you right away. Maturity is also the most difficult stage. You've accumulated tech debt, customers, and stakeholders who tell you what to do and expect certain things. You have contracts, you can't pivot so easily anymore, so you have to make it the absolute best out of what you have. How do you know when you've reached a maturity stage? You've reached a maturity stage when your product has done what Geoffrey Moore coined as crossing the chasm. This is when your product has hit the mass market and it happens in the growth stage. Once you've crossed the chasm, you're essentially in the maturity stage, but how do you know for sure? Here are some business indicators that suggest your product is in the maturity stage of its life cycle. You're no longer pushing to introduce yourself to the market. Your users are no longer early adopters. Growth and churn are steady. Revenue and profit are steady. A stable product market fit is evident in your retention and customer lifetime value or LTV. Net Promoter Score results and referral channels are solid. This is the challenges of the maturity stage. Sales volumes peak. After the steady increase in sales during the growth stage, the market starts to become saturated as there are fewer new customers. The majority of the consumers who are ever going to purchase a product have already done so. Decreasing market share. Another characteristic of the maturity stage is the large volume of manufacturers who are all competing for a share of the market. With this stage of the product life cycle often seeing the highest level of competition, it becomes increasingly challenging for the companies to maintain their market share. Profit starts to decrease. While this stage may be when the market as a whole makes the most profit, it's often the part of the product life cycle where a lot of manufacturers can start to see their profits decrease. Profit will have to be shared among all of the competitors in the market. And with sales likely to peak during this stage, any manufacturer that loses market share and experiences a fall in sales is likely to see a subsequent fall in profits. This decrease in profits could be compounded by the falling prices that are often seen with the sheer number of competitors, forces some of them to try attracting more customers by competing on price. This is the benefits of the maturity stage. Continued reduction in cost. Just as economies of scale in the growth stage help to reduce cost, developments in production can lead to more efficient ways to manufacture high volume of particular product, helping to lower cost even further. Increase market share through differentiation. While the market may reach saturation during the maturity stage, manufacturers might be able to grow their market share and increase profits in other ways. Through the use of innovative marketing campaigns and by offering more diverse product features, company can actually improve their market share through differentiation, and there are plenty of product lifecycle examples of business being able to achieve this. Product lifecycle management in the maturity stage. The maturity stage of the product lifecycle presents manufacturers with a wide range of challenges. With sales reaching their peak and the market becoming saturated, it can be very difficult for companies to maintain their profits, let alone continue trying to increase them, especially in the face of what is usually fairly intense competition. During this stage, it is organizations that look for innovative ways to make their products more appealing to the consumers that will maintain and perhaps even increase their market share.
What is the decline stage of product life cycle? The decline stage of product is when a mature product loses customer interest and its sales starts drifting downward. What happens during the decline stage of the product life cycle? During the decline stage, brand will experience a decline in sales in the face of heightened competition or dwindling consumer demand. This phase is difficult to overcome. Typically, companies will either discontinue their product or sell their company or find a new ways to iterate or on their product in an attempt to retrieve sales. Why do products enter the decline stage? Products enter the decline stage when consumer appeal and sales drift downward. This happens every day. Consumers get bored, markets are oversaturated, or a newer, better product is introduced that eclipses its predecessors. It's important to remember that not every product will necessarily face a decline stage. For example, it's hard to imagine a world in which people aren't purchasing iPhones while all older models of the phone have been discontinued. Apple continued to iterate on each model and revive consumer demand on a regular basis. Or think of the beloved Coca-Cola. While the formula has changed over time since the late 1800s. It's been a regular stock on store shelves ever since. Companies that aren't globally recognized can also implement strategies to avoid or exit the decline stage. More on that below. There are challenges of the decline stage. First, market in decline. During this final phase of the product life cycle, the market for a product will start to decline. Consumers will typically stop buying this product in favor of something newer and better. And there's generally not much a manufacturer will be able to do to prevent this. Falling sales and profits as a result of the declining market sales will start to fall, and the overall profit that is available to manufacturers in the market will start to decrease. One way for companies to slow this fall in sales and profit is to try and increase their market share, which, while challenging enough during the maturity stage of the cycle, can be even harder when a market is declined. The second challenge is product withdrawal. Ultimately, for a lot of manufacturers could get to a point where they are no longer making a profit from their product. As there may be no way to reverse this decline, the only option many businesses will have is to withdraw their product before it starts to lose money. And there are benefits of the decline stage. Cheaper production. Even during the decline stage, there may be opportunities for some companies to continue selling their products at a profit. If they are able to reduce their costs by looking at alternative manufacturing options, using different techniques, or moving production to another location, a business may be able to extend the profitable life of a product. Cheaper markets. For some manufacturers, another way to continue making a profit from a product during the decline stage may be to look new, cheaper markets for sales. In the past, the profit potential from these markets may not have justified the investment need to enter them, but companies often see things differently when the only other alternative might be to withdraw a product altogether. Product life cycle management. Many products going through the decline stage of the product life cycle experience a shrinking market coupled with falling sales and profits. For some companies, it will simply be a case of continuing to manufacture a product as long as it is economically viable, but withdrawing it is as soon as that's not the case. However, depending on the particular markets involved, some companies may be able to extend the life of their product and continue making a profit. By looking at alternative means of production and new cheaper markets, even in the decline stage, a product can still be viable, and the most successful manufacturers are those that focus on effective product life cycle management, allowing them to make the most from the potential of each and every product the company launches. Conclusion: not every product will reach the decline stage, but for those that do, it can be challenging to overcome. It is important to start the planning process for your product eventually decline before your product is even released to the market. That's all for today. Thank you for listening.